Hello and welcome to the September 2016 Full Moon Mini Masterclass. This is class number 10 of 2016. I'm your host today, Sarah Parker Thomas, and we're going to be discussing the full moon, the fall equinox, Mercury retrograde, and the forecast for the rest of September into October. Plus, I will do a guided meditation to help you align and process this new energy and take your questions. You may submit questions now, and when I pause for the break, I'll answer what I can, time permitting. I will answer the rest at the end of the class. Okay, we've got a lot to cover, so let's get right to it. I have collected information, plotted charts, read many books, visited many websites, and been given some of this information by Spirit. Some of it is intuitive astrology. For a definite meaning of how these events will affect you, you need to have your chart plotted. This is intended to cover the broadest spectrum of people and may or may not impact you as much as others. Oh, and even though we all know the sun, moon, stars, and heavenly bodies affect life on Earth, this is not intended as medical, legal, or psychological advice. Ultimately, we are responsible for our choices. What you do with this information is strictly up to you. Okay, that being said, we have a lot to cover. The full moon nearest the autumn equinox is always known as the harvest moon. Yeah? And that's because, it's time to harvest the crops. So I have best days in September for different activities. We're going to talk about the equinox itself. We're going to talk about the eclipse. We have a whole lot going on today. First, let's talk a little bit about just September in general. September has been a huge month for change and introspection. And unless you were living in a cave, and probably even if you were, you know that this has been a major turning point already. It's a turning point because we are at that place where we go from where we were and what we thought we wanted to deciding what our new path is going to be and having the ability to do it, to make those changes. And with the eclipse upon us too, the cosmic events that are coming help us grow and give us opportunity for change and to find out those hidden truths. The thing about astrology is it's all about cycles. Everything is a cycle in a cycle in a cycle. The planets move, but yet it's a repetitive cycle. With an eclipse, we are shown truths, and I'll talk a little bit about that in just a minute. So, cycle. Think back to September 1st, 1997. And I know most of you are going, Sarah, I can't remember what I had for breakfast. I understand. That's why you're keeping those journals, right? So you can refer back to them and see what the lessons were. Yeah, if you're not keeping a journal, start now because things are only going to get faster. And it really is a wonderful tool for noting your progress and seeing the cycles. So, September 1st, 1997. Now, of course, the planets have moved since then and they're in different houses, but if you can pinpoint the theme that came up back then, this will give you a clue as to what's going on now. And I understand you may not have been alive then, or you may have been a child, and that's okay. Welcome to your first round of this lesson. Another thing you could do would be Google that year and see what comes up. See what comes up in the news. And as I said, depending on where Virgo is in your chart and what house as to what area this is going to really impact you. But figure it's going to be something having to do with a relationship of some sort. Keep that in mind, and let's add another layer to the cycle with the full moon energy. I'd like to start by saying, wow, right? A lot of people have contacted me and said, June and July were really tough. August was a lot better. What happened to September? I thought we were past all this crap. Well, we're on a cycle for sure. It reminds me of this little bit of poetry. And do not worry that your life is turning upside down. How do you know that the side you're used to is better than the one to come? And of course, that's my favorite poet who I quote all the time, Rumi. So let's keep that positive thought in mind as we delve deeper into this month's cycle. Even though things are turning upside down right now, better things are on the way. We're accessing some of the strongest energy for change right now that we've had the entire year. And it's human nature not to like change. But even though you're ready for change, even though you welcome it, you may still be feeling apprehensive and you may still be worrying what's going to happen tomorrow and if you're going to survive it. You will. Things are going to get better. We just have to ride through this cycle just a little bit longer. This is going to be a better time. So hang in there. We've got one more wild weekend, the weekend coming up. We're almost past the worst of this. Yeah, I said almost. In case you missed the last few calls, this particular set of eclipses happening in Virgo, with Mercury retrograde squaring Mars-Saturn in Sagittarius, has been a tremendous cycle and is a component of a much larger cycle, like I said a while ago, that began this year. And it's a repeat of a pattern cycle that we went through 30 years ago. This is a huge game changer. This is a time when we are learning major life lessons, individually and collectively as a planet. You personally may be feeling it as soul-searching time that has stirred up for many people lots of old crap they thought was already healed. But just like our proverbial onion, we're peeling it back and we're doing layer by layer of work on healing this trauma. And have you noticed there are triggers everywhere to help you understand this and help you go deeper? The lesson hopefully is with this newfound awareness and this deeper healing, we'll be open to the changes that are coming. We'll make better decisions for our personal growth and our life path. So with all the work that you've been doing, do you find yourself now more willing to surrender and accept the changes that are thrust upon you? So let's go deeper and take it down another level and go day by day, what to expect and what the influences are. Just keep in mind this is a great opportunity for personal growth. You're not being punished. The lunar eclipse is a game changer on September the 16th. As we end one problematic cycle and begin another new phase. It may even feel like it's the end of an era for you. We have the eclipse following in watery and intuitive, deep Pisces. You expect to be drawn to more deeper thoughts, more soul-searching. Not that you haven't been doing any of that already, right? Eclipses are always about revealing hidden truths and bringing them to the light. So what a combination, huh? Making this full moon a perfect time to focus on creativity and spirituality. You may feel an inward pull to go further inside and go deeper to the root of the issue, and that's fine. Emotions are probably going to be running high. And even though you may be feeling the energy like it's going to burst apart at the seams, you know that this is just the time of change. This is the change that we've been wanting and waiting for. And you know things are going to change one way or the other. The energy of this eclipse cycle is going to be felt very strongly on both the conscious and subconscious level. So even though the lunar eclipse will be working with the new moon solar eclipse of September 1st, it's actually part of, you knew it, a bigger cycle that can be traced back to 2008. The cycle does not officially end until February 2017, but September's eclipse is definitely going to be one of the most powerful points in this cycle and one of the most powerful points of the year. September's eclipse is going to highlight the truth. Whatever you've been shying away from, whatever you dared not see, whatever you didn't want revealed is probably going to come up during the lunar eclipse. And on that happy note, what can we expect? What new lessons are there for us to learn? For the next cycle, we can expect many people are going to be caught up in drama and emotions to be running really high. Rage, mood swings, fluctuating emotions, and anger. So you may want to rethink plans for an outing with loved ones as the moon may trigger temperamental behavior. You may well feel at the mercy of your hormones too, so keep that in mind. Also expect unresolved childhood traumas to turn from sleeping dogs to wild, rage-filled outbursts. Those touched by the eclipse will be very sensitive to what the public perceives them to be. If they can't be loved, then they might go out of their way to be unpopular and delight in being over the top, bratty. We go from famous to infamous. Yeah? Expect the gossip to be wild and much drama in the press during the next 3 months. It's also quite possible that these energies manifest in a variety of ways, starting at the most base level, which means sexual. Expect a stronger sex drive and an increased appetite for sexual experience. The 3-month cycle may also be a time of accidents and injuries, so use caution in anything you do. These accidents aren't likely to be fatal, but more problematic. And also this is crazy, there's an element of luck shown. So despite the accident problem, there seems to be luck and good fortune too. So it may just be you tripped and fell, but you were lucky you didn't get hurt. Yeah. Another level of problems arising out of the Sun-Mars placement could be rage fueled by sexual problem, a cheating spouse, or a jilted lover. So you see the tendency to go on a marauding, revenge-filled tirade. Stop instantly. This is not productive and not helpful for anyone. If you're on the other end of the spectrum of the receiving end of someone's craziness, This is not a time to become a doormat or to meekly accept somebody else's rage for something that you didn't do. Some people will try and keep the peace and end up becoming people pleasers during this time and doormats. A note to all the empaths out there, you will probably have a hypersensitivity to the needs of others for the next few months. I know, as if you didn't already, right? So, even more so than normal, you may feel like running away and looking for any chance you can to escape. So I advise you to plan a trip now. Plan those weekend escapes, plan time with your family away, go camping, go do something where you're not being bombarded by the drama or people and the people energy that accompanies this drama. Do your best to not get caught up in drama at school, at work, in the family during this time. For some people, this energy will make them, like the empaths, very reclusive and they'll just want to get away. While others will feed off this energy and it will just be one glamorous party after another. And as I said a while ago, the empaths are going to be hit really hard with this energy. Generally, for the empaths, they want people to get along because they feel everything. They want everyone to be happy, loving, congenial. Yeah, this may manifest for them as a hypersensitivity to what's going on and the need for fairness. But remember, if you are an empath, your job is not to be the fairness police. Okay? What happens out there, everyone is responsible for their own crap. People are going to be in crap. There's going to be, like I say, high rage, sexual antics, and extreme sensitivity. What a mix, right? Oh, and did I mention this falls in conjunction to Chiron and it squares Mars? As I said, the eclipse may bring up anger targeted squarely on the wounded places, because what is that meteorite? The wounded healer. That emotional soft spot that you've been trying to hide and make sure nobody knows it exists. Yeah, expect somebody to come along and poke it hard. So the thing to do is stay in command of your feelings, especially if you were born during these dates, and I'll put them up so you can see them. This is going to impact you very personally if you were born September 11th through 21st, December 11th through 21st, March 9th through 19th, June 10th through 20th. Just know that whatever comes your way during this cycle won't be finished until February. However, all the closure you need for now is here. You have all the tools to handle this, and you can do it. You can get through this. Now, how about some good news, huh?